Dari Utsman ibn Affan berkata, aku mendengar Nabi SAW bersabda, sesiapa yang membaca Bismillahilladzi la yadurru ma'asmihi syai'un fil ardi wa la fis sama' wa huwa as-sami'ul alim, yang bermaksud dengan nama Allah yang dengan namanya tidak ada sesuatu pun yang dapat memberikan kemudaratan di bumi maupun di langit. Dialah yang maha mendengar lagi maha mengetahui. Sebanyak 3 kali, maka dia tidak akan ditimpa bala yang datang secara tiba-tiba sehingga subuh. Dan barang siapa yang membacanya ketika subuh sebanyak 3 kali, maka dia tidak akan ditimpa bala secara tiba-tiba sehingga petang, iaitu malam. Hadis rawahu Abu Dawud menurut Syekh Syu'ib Al-Arnud. Hadis ini adalah hasan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wassahbihi ajmain. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day everyone. Hello. We meet again for the 3rd time. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone is well and healthy and still staying at home. Remember, the movement control order to stop the COVID-19 chain is not over. So, the best way that you can save yourselves and your loved ones is to stay at home. Remember, we are fighting a war and our enemy cannot be seen. Do not go out if you do not have anything important to do. If you do need to go out, please take the necessary precaution. As the saying goes, prevention is better than cure. In this session, I am going to look at paper 1 of your SPM examination paper. We are going to discuss directed writing. Perlis Mengaji. Let's proceed. So, what are our success criteria for today? So, in this session, we are going to look at paper 1 directed writing, and we are going to look at an article. We are going to look at simple and compound sentences, how to write an introduction, how to develop and or elaborate on the content points, and also I will be giving you some tips on how to answer your directed writing question. Okay, first of all, let's watch this very short video. So, what is happening in this video? Yes, someone is being bullied. Is it good behavior to bully other people? Of course not. Remember, bullying is an offense in school. You can be punished if you bully your schoolmates. Alright, now I have here a question paper. This is the directed writing question paper, and I would like to discuss the different parts of the paper. This is how I discuss the parts with my students. I like to call the first part of the paper the situation. Okay, there are 3 different parts of the paper, and the first part is the situation. Now, you have to answer the question based on the situation given. The second part, I like to call it the content. The content usually has 12 or 13 points, which carries 12 or 13 marks. And the third part of the question paper is what I like to call the format. In this part, the format is clearly stated. That is why you do not need to memorize the format of, for example, an article, a speech, or a report, because the format is given clearly in the third part of the question. You know exactly what to write for the format. However, for informal and formal letter, you do need to memorize the format because sometimes the question just states lay out the letter correctly. In this case, you need to memorize the layout. Now, as you well know, okay, the format carries 2 to 3 points depending on the question. Now, an essay, any essay, a normal essay, there will be 3 parts. The first part is what we call the introduction. The second part is the body, where usually it will contain 2 to 3 paragraphs. Okay, and the last part is the ending or the conclusion. Now, for today, I am going to discuss how to answer this question for students who are quite weak in English, for students who need help in writing their essays. This is for students, but for students who are already good in English, you will find my presentation today not challenging. Okay, but for students who need help, you will find this presentation useful. So let's carry on. Now, what are the important facts to remember? Now, one of the most important things that you need to remember when you are writing any essay is the tense. Now, you know that there are 3 basic tenses: the present tense, the past tense, and also the future tense. So you have to look at the question and decide which tense you should use. Of course, you also will have to know the connectors, all right, and also the modal verbs, topic sentence or lead-in sentence, and also how to elaborate or develop your points. So don't worry, in this session, I will discuss and recap all of the above because I am sure that you have learned all this from your teachers. It's just a matter of applying what you have learned into the answer. Okay, and this will help you to be better writers, inshallah. Okay, now, number 1, I always remind my students to number the notes given. For example, the format, 2 or 3 points, and also the content point. You number the points given. We will look at it later. All right. If you number the content points, it will be easier for you to write your essay without missing any points. I would advise you to follow the sequence given. Do not jump from one point to the other because you can easily miss a point in that way. Now, the mark for content is 13 and the mark for format is 2. So, you must get as many marks as possible because this will help you in the overall marks. Now, let's go to the question. I shall read it now. Now, bullying cases in schools have been on the rise lately. As a concerned student, you decide to carry out a survey on bullying in your school. Based on the notes you have made, write an article for your school bulletin board about the problem. In your article, you should provide reasons for bullying, effects of bullying on the victims, and suggestions to curb the problem. So, who are you in this question? You are a concerned student. And what do you have to write? You have to write an article. And the article is about bullying. Okay, in school. So, you need to give the reasons here. You need to give the reasons for bullying. You need to also include the effects of bullying and also suggestions to curb the problem. So this is the situation part of your question paper. Now, let's take a look at the content. Just now I told you that I always tell my students to number the content points. So here we have three reasons for 3 reasons for bullying. We have 3 effects of bullying. All right, so it's always good for you to number them so that you do not miss the content points. All right. And then suggestions to curb the problem. Okay, for school administration, campaigns and counseling. For teachers, alert and own idea. For students, not retaliate and own idea. The questions on own idea is very good because here it is a chance for you to give your own ideas instead of just following what is in the question. Okay. Now, this is the third part of the question paper. This is the format. So when writing the article, you must give a suitable title. That is F1 title. Give your name as the writer, F2. Use all the information given, that is the content point. Alright, and then provide an ending, F3. Give your own ideas, so that is point C10 and C12. And you have to develop the points given. You need to develop the points given because you need to show the examiners your ability to construct sentences. So if you do not write, you do not develop your points, the examiners do not have much language to look at, so they do not really know your proficiency in the language. So it is good for you to develop your content points. Okay, so you must try to elaborate. Okay, let's proceed to the next part. The next part is, just now I told you that in an essay, the first part is the introduction. Alright, now let's take a look at the introduction. Now, remember, this is the first question in your paper 1 of your English 1119 paper. So you might feel a little bit nervous, a little bit worried, but don't worry because I'm going to give you one way in order for you to kickstart your essay. Okay, one way is for you to use the situation in the question paper. Okay, let's take a look, and then you must also add your own words. All right, what do I mean by this? All right, this is the situation part of your question paper. I have read this just now. So what you do is you write back the situation, but then you add in your own words so that the situation becomes an introduction. Let me discuss this further. Now, bullying cases in school have been on the rise lately. This is the same as the question. Okay, as a concerned student, I decide to carry out a survey on bullying in my or our school. Here, as a concerned student, you decide to carry out a survey on bullying in your school. So you change the pronoun and you also add in the name of your school. So this is what I mean by adding and changing. Next, based on the notes I have made, I write this article for our school bulletin board. Based on the notes you have made, write an article for your school bulletin board about the problem. So here you have added in you have changed the pronoun. Okay, and then next, in your article, you should include the reason, the effects, and suggestion. So here, in this article, I include the reasons for bullying and the effects of bullying. I will also include some suggestions to curb the problem. So the ones in black are from the situation in the question paper, and the ones in red is your own addition. Okay, so there's a little bit there. So I would suggest that you do this in your everyday exercises with your teacher so that you will practice. And once you know what to do, you will be better at it and you will be able to add in more words add in more phrases and add in more sentences of your own. For example, this one. Okay, bullying cases in school. Okay, here it should be have, not has, been on the rise lately. So, bullying cases in schools have been increasing recently. So, you have changed. Okay, you have changed from rise lately into increasing recently. It is one of the major problems faced by many schools in and around Malaysia. This is your own, the student's own sentence. As a concerned student, I decide to carry out a survey on bullying in our school, SMK Sri Muda. So again, changes have been made. Based on my findings, I am writing this article about the problem. So you are changing again based on the notes you have made into based on my findings. Okay, so again you have changed. In this article, I will provide, so here in your article you should include, so the word include has been changed to provide or give the reasons for bullying, the effects of bullying. I will also provide, here provide, give some suggestions to curb the problem. So here you can see the writing in black has decreased and more writings in red. The writing in red has increased. So in this way, you can see that the student has gained confidence and the student is able to add in more of his own words. So this is how you use the situation to help you to write your introduction. Next. Alright, now we are going to the next stage of our writing, that is writing the content points. Alright. Now, here, what is happening is, you are going to use the content point to write your essay. Okay, but in order to do that, you need to change the content point into sentences. And how do you do that? First, you have to think about what you are writing. You are going to write an article. So, article, the first thing that comes to mind would be your tense. What tense are you going to use? Now, it is about bullying. Has it happened? Is it in the past? Or is it happening now? Or is it happening in the future? So that would decide which tense you should use. So here, it is in the present tense. So your sentences should contain sentences in the simple present tense, in the present continuous tense, and also maybe in the present perfect tense. Okay, here I've given some verbs, okay, in the present. Alright, maybe you will also use the future will, and maybe you need the modal verb. So that is how you ask yourself, okay, what tense to use. You look at the article and you ask yourself, okay, in what tense you are going to write the answer in. Okay, because tenses, the tense is very important so that you do not make grammatical errors. Okay. Next. Alright. Simple tenses. So now we are going to look at the three, for today, I am just going to look at simple and compound sentences. Okay. So first we are going to discuss simple sentences in the present tense. Now, I always like to use this table of verb, this subject, verb, object table, because it is easier for my student. For example, here I have a few examples. The principal delivers a speech during assembly. So, here we have a singular subject principal. So, when the subject is singular, you need a singular verb, where you add the S to the verb. If you have a plural subject, then you use a plural verb without the S. Now this is the simpler sentence, whereby in a simple sentence there is only one clause. Simply put, a simple sentence contains one verb. Okay. For the next one, the principal is in a meeting. Self-esteem shouldn't be there. I forgot to delete that. Sorry. Okay. Next. Now, when you are writing a paragraph, okay, you need to link your content points. You need to link your content points. Now, one way to link your content points is using sequence connectors. Okay. Now, in a simple sentence, you can see here. Okay. So you can use, for example, just now we have three reasons. So the first reason is. The first reason is. And then you want to connect it to the second one. You say the second reason is. And then the next one will be the third reason is. This is an example of a way to construct simple sentences that is correct. It is better, I think, for you to write simple sentences that is grammatically correct rather than writing very long sentence which is grammatically wrong. Okay? Right. Now, let's carry on. So this is what we call the connectors. Now next, we're going to look at writing the content point. Now, you are going to write the second paragraph, third paragraph and fourth paragraph, which is the body of your essay. So when you write the content point, you have to remember about the opening sentence in your paragraph. We call this the lead-in sentence or the topic sentence. All right. Now, what is a lead-in or topic sentence? This is to start your paragraph. Okay. How do you do this? Now, one way to do this is to use the question or to use the situation in the first part of your question. All right, let's take a look. All right. We have this. We have this in your question, in the first part of your question or in the situation part of your question. We have in your article, you should provide reasons for bullying. So that would be maybe your first one paragraph. Effects of bullying, one paragraph. Suggestions to curb the problem, one paragraph. So you are going to write 3 paragraphs for the body of your essay. So the reason, we have C1, 2 and 3, envy, anger and jealousy. So how are you going to write it? So in this article, I will provide 3 reasons for bullying. See, you are using the question to write your opening sentence. Very easy. And you just give the first reason. The reasons, here the 3 reasons are put together. The reasons are envy, anger and jealousy. And for this you'll get 3 marks. This is what we call stringing. The students merely string all the 3 points together. And for this, you will get the marks, but you will not get, I think that you will not get good marks for your language. Remember, the language mark for directed writing is 20. And you need that mark. Okay, you need that mark. All right, now, so how to make it longer? All right, this is what we call stringing just now. Now, how to make your paragraph longer? All right. Now, the same points. Okay. In this article, I will provide 3 reasons for bullying. The first reason is envy. The second reason is anger. The third reason is jealousy. This is what we call simple sentence. Okay. One sentence contains only one verb, so one clause. Very simple. Okay, but it is, but is it correct? Okay, but before that, we still get 3 marks, but is it correct? Now, look at the word reason. This usually happens with students when they copy, where they just write reasons and then they forgot that the first reason is one reason, so it should be is. That is where you make the language error. You make an error. Okay? So please be very careful of your singular and plural. Do not make too many mistakes, because this can have some effect on your marks for language. Okay? Right. So, next. So this one, the second sentence is correct. The second sentence says the second reason is anger. So it is correct. Okay? Right. Now, but that is only to begin a paragraph. This is one more way to begin a paragraph. I call this the lead-in sentence by using the phrase there is and there are. Okay, this is a lead-in sentence using there is and there are. Alright, this is very easy. I'm sure you know how to do this. Alright, still we have the 3 reasons. And you use there are. Why? Because there are 3 reasons, so it is plural. There are 3 reasons for bullying and the rest are the same. Okay, so here you have not used the situation provided or the sentence in the situation provided. Okay, you are using your own sentence, which is better. Okay, now sometimes it is good if you can use, you can construct compound sentences. Now, what is a compound sentence? A compound sentence is 2 simple sentences joined together with a comma and a coordinating conjunction. Conjunction, you're talking about conjunction. And one of the conjunctions is, okay, here, and. Okay. There are 3 reasons for bullying. The reasons are, because there are 2 reasons here, envy and anger. So you have combined envy and anger into one sentence. Okay, and using the conjunction and. And for this sentence becomes a better sentence. Okay, and then for the next one, another reason is jealousy, because there's only one reason, so using is. Or one more reason is jealousy. So here, now, just now we merely copied, but now the sentences are getting better. Okay, so here we are using there are, and we are now using compound sentences, and we are using words like we are using words like another and one more instead of firstly, secondly, and thirdly. So your sentences are getting better. Okay. Alright, so reasons plural, you use are. So 3 marks. Okay, now let's go to the third paragraph, that is the effects of bullying. Alright, now what are the effects of bullying? We have fear, depression, and low self-esteem. Alright, same situation. So we have point 4, 5, and 6. So again, we are using there are. There are 3 effects of bullying on the victims. Same here, the sentence from the situation. The first effect is fear. The second effect is depression. The third effect is low self-esteem. So using simple sentence and using connectors like first, second, using connectors like first, second, and third. Alright. But let us combine it. Let us combine the content point so that it becomes a compound sentence. So again, there are 3 effects of bullying on the victims. The effects are fear and depression, and one more effect is low self-esteem. It becomes better. Yeah? Alright. And then I always like it when my student use one of the. Okay, I always like it because it makes the sentence nicer. Okay, all right. For example, there are 3 effects of bullying on the victims. One of the effect. Now, even though it's here, when you see the word effects here, it means many. But so why are we using is? Because we are talking about only one effect. All right. So one of the effects is fear. 2 other effects are depression and low self-esteem. So you are using other forms or other phrases to write your sentences. All right. So now let's go to the 4th paragraph, that is suggestions to curb the problem. Now, what's the meaning of the word curb? Curb means to overcome, to solve the problem. Yeah. So the suggestion to the administrator, okay, campaigns and counseling. For the teachers, alert and own idea. For the students, not retaliate and own idea. Okay. Now, when you see the word suggestions, now how are you going to write a sentence that shows to suggest? Okay. Okay. Usually, we use the modal verb. Now, modal verbs are used, okay, in sentences where you need to suggest, you need to advise, you need to guide, you need to instruct, or you need to recommend. There are other moments where you need to use the modal verb also. I'm just giving you some. Okay, now, what are the modal verbs? For example, can, must, should, have to, need to. Okay, these are the simple modal verbs that is easy for you to remember. Now, how do you use the modal verbs? All right. Now, a modal verb must be followed by a root form of the verb. The root form, or just to put it simply, root verb. Okay. Okay. For example, in this example here, you can see, for example, should go, should to go, should going, and should went. So, out of the 4, which one is the correct usage? Alright, I give you a few seconds to look at it. And maybe you can post, okay, in your comment, alright, in the comment section, okay, you can post it on Facebook for your answers. Alright, so the answer is of course the first one, where the modal verb is followed by the root form of the word. Okay, root form of the word. Okay, should to go, that is the to infinitive. Should going is the continuous, and then should when is the past tense of the verb go. So it is wrong. Okay, all right. I'm sure you know this. All right. Now, suggestions to curb the problem. For the school administration, campaigns. Now, campaign here is noun. Okay, all right. That's a C7. Now, so you can start your paragraph with next. I will or I would like to give or to provide suggestions to curb the problem. And here the connector is used first or firstly or first of all or first and foremost. You can use any of those because this is the first point that you are giving. Our school administration, such as the principal, should organize campaigns to stop bullying in our school. Now, I like it if you can add in your example using connectors like such as. Okay, and then it makes your sentence longer and your sentence better. So, for example, I will read one of these. First and foremost, our school administration, such as the principal, should organize campaigns to stop bullying in our school. So you see, it sounds very nice. and there is no mistake because should organize, the modal verb is used correctly with the verb. Alright, should organize. Alright. Some of you would write should to organize, should organizing, and should campaign, because campaign is not a verb here, it is a noun. Okay, so it's wrong. Okay, sometimes you can also change organize to carry out. For example, you can say should carry out campaigns to stop bullying in our school. You can also do that. Alright. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Suggestions to curb the problem, school administration, counseling. Okay, who will do counseling in our school? The school counselors, yeah? Alright. Secondly, the school administration should provide counseling for the bullies. This is one way of writing the sentence. Or, secondly, the school administration, such as the discipline master, should send the bullies to the school counselor for counseling. So you see, the sentence is getting longer by adding an example of who the school administration is. Okay, the discipline master. What should the discipline master do? Send the bullies to the school counselor for what? For counseling. So your sentence is getting longer. Okay? Suggestions to curb the problem. What about teachers? Alert. Now, look at the word alert there. Okay, alright. How is it used in a sentence? Okay. Secondly, or second, our teachers should alert of bullying incidents in our school. Now, is that correct? Should alert. Now, what is alert? Alert is an adjective, meaning after the word should, you must have a root verb, but alert is an adjective. So because of that, this sentence is wrong. So, secondly, our teachers should be alert. You have to put in the verb there. Should be alert. It cannot be should is alert. Should am alert. Cannot. It has to be. Okay. To accompany the adjective alert of bullying incidents in our school. Okay, again, should must be followed with a root verb. Okay, remember that. Okay. Okay, all right, maybe you can take a few seconds to look at this again. All right, next. Suggestions to curb the problem. We are talking about the teachers. Suggestions to the teachers. What should the teachers do? Alright, I'm giving you a few seconds to think about, okay, what the teachers should do to curb bullying in schools. Okay, any ideas? Alright, let's see. So, stop bullying on the spot. For example, the teacher sees someone bullying another student, so maybe she can stop bullying on the spot. Talk to their parents, okay? Find out what happened. Teach kindness and empathy. All right, so the sentence is, our teachers should also stop bullying on the spot. Then it becomes a sentence. Okay? Next, suggestions to curb the problem, student. Okay, what are the suggestions for student to curb the problem? The word here is not retaliate. Now, what is the meaning of the word not retaliate? Okay, what's that mean? What's the meaning? Okay, the meaning is to do something harmful to somebody because they have harmed you first. Okay, meaning you fight back. Okay, is that good? All right. If other students bully you, you must not retaliate. This is an awkward sentence, but still you will get the mark. You must not retaliate. Okay, all right, must not retaliate. But a better sentence would be, if you are being bullied, you must not retaliate. So the modal verb being used here is must. Okay. All right. Now, suggestions to curb the problem for students. Now, own idea. Now, if you are being bullied, what should you do? So I'm giving you a few seconds, okay, to think about what you should do or what you can do, okay, to solve the problem or to curb the problem, to contain the problem. What should you do? Right? Maybe a few minutes, a few seconds, sorry. Any idea? Okay, let's see. Okay, tell or inform your teacher. That's one way. Talk to your parents. Maybe you just walk away. Walk away from the bully. Okay, do not confront the bully. Right? Do not fight back. Because that's what bullies love. Okay, because a bully is always looking for a fight. So walk away. Stay near your friends. Remember, safety in numbers. So it's better for you to stay with your friends, okay? Stay together so that the bully would not come near you, right? So the sentence is, if someone bullies you, you must tell your teacher or counselor or school administrator. That's one way. So maybe you can use the points here to construct your sentences. Okay, you can construct your sentences, and maybe after this you can discuss, okay, with your teachers online, okay, on whether your sentences are correct or not. I'm sure they will be correct, inshallah. Okay, next. All right, so here are the sentences. All right. Now, the last point in the question paper is to develop all the points given, meaning you have to elaborate. Now, how do you elaborate? All right. For example, one way to generate ideas to elaborate on points is to ask yourself the WH question. For example, what, why, when, who, okay, where, which, okay. This will generate ideas on what, on the points or on the sentences that you are going to develop. Okay, how you are going to develop the points. All right. For example, okay, this is the opening sentence. There are many ways that the school administration can do to curb bullying. So the point given. First and foremost, our school administration should organize anti-bullying campaigns. That is the point. Organize anti-bullying campaign. And this is the elaboration. In this way, the students will know what to do if they are bullied. Okay, so this is the elaboration or the development of the point organized campaigns. Okay. Okay, this is a simpler sentence. In this way, the students will be more aware of the problem. Okay, this is also another way. All right. Now, counseling. Okay, how do you elaborate on that point? Secondly, the school must send the bullies for counseling session with the school counselor. Okay, right. So, how do you elaborate? So again, I'm using in this way. Why? Because we are giving suggestion. So in this way, the bullies can talk about their problems with the counselor. Okay, that is one way of doing it. And what can the counselor do? The counselor can help them to solve or overcome their problems. Okay, so here you have given your point, you have given two elaboration, okay, which is very good. All right. Next, this is also one way. The school can also distribute flyers about bullying to the students. Okay. All right. Now, what are flyers? Okay, flyers are, these are some examples of flyers. Okay. right? So that students can read it on their own and they can know more about bullying. Yeah. All right. Next, teacher suggestion to the teachers. What should they do? Okay. So I have here some, and maybe you can screenshot and then you can construct sentences for you to practice to write better sentences. Okay. So use modal verbs and use the connectors. Okay. And then maybe you can elaborate on your sentences. All right. For example, I give you an example here. What are the roles of teachers to curb this problem? All right. So, firstly, all teachers need to be alert of bullying in their classes. That is the point. And then here I'm using need to. This is another modal verb. Okay. They should know who the bullies are. Something a mistake here. They should know who the bullies are and who the victims are. That will be a better sentence. Okay. All right. This one. Teachers' own okay, the teachers where you have to generate your own ideas. Secondly, teachers need to report bullying cases to the school administration. And then, thirdly, teachers must take immediate action to stop any bullying cases that happens in their class. Okay. Now, since I don't have a lot of time, I'm straight away going to look at the last part. That is, when writing the article, you must give a suitable title, give your name, and also provide an ending. All right. Now, okay, very easy. F1 title, bullying in school. Where do I get that? I got it from the question. I do not need to waste time to think about a title. And who is the writer? Written by your name. And then you have the ending. Okay, let's take a look at the ending now. A very simple ending. I always tell my students to write something about hope. Okay, so you just write, in conclusion, I hope students in this school will be more aware of this problem or this issue. In conclusion, I hope students in this school will know what to do if other students bully them. Okay, this is also another way to write. This is a better way. In conclusion, I hope students will be more aware of the dangers of bullying and will take the necessary actions to protect themselves against bullies. Of course, this is a better sentence. All right. Since you can screenshot this afterwards, and you can. One more caution that I like to tell my students about directed writing is your essay must not be too long. You only have about 45 minutes to write your essay. So you mustn't take too much time. You mustn't spend too much time on writing this essay. That is why my elaboration is just 1 or 2 sentences. Okay? Right, so let's recap. Okay, in this session, we have looked at article, we have looked at simple and compound sentences, we have looked at how to write an introduction, how to develop and or elaborate, and I have given you the tips, okay, and how to tackle the question. All right, so that's the end. That's the end of our session today. So, that's all from me. I hope that you have enjoyed our session and are able to understand what I have delivered. Hopefully, it will help you in answering the directed writing question. Now, before I stop, just a few reminders. Stay safe. Stay at home. Please continue studying. Do not lose your momentum even though you are fasting. Now, keep up the good work that you have been doing so far. Keep studying. Okay? Keep doing your revision. Okay? Thank you to the frontliners. You are our heroes. And since today is Teachers' Day, happy Teachers' Day to all the teachers in Malaysia. Berguru demi ilmu, bina generasi baharu. That's all from me. Until we meet again. Sekian. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Daripada Anas bin Malik radhiyallahu anhu berkata, Nabi SAW pernah berdoa, Allahumma inni a'udzubika minal barasi wal jununi wal juzami wa min sayil asqam. Ya Allah, aku berlindung denganmu daripada penyakit sopak, penyakit gila, penyakit kusta dan penyakit-penyakit yang buruk. Hadis diriwayatkan oleh Al-Imam Abu Dawud dengan sanad yang sahih.